Yep, here we are again with another Cardano price video. I know, I usually don't do these, but I think there is some interesting hopium-filled catalysts that are arising and are important not only for price development, but also fundamental development of Cardano as a whole. And in today's video, I want to go over very briefly those catalysts, specifically being the hard forks and the history with price appreciation before those events. Now, before we jump into the video, I want to make sure this is clear. None of the prior historical events related to the hard fork and price appreciation are real indicators that it can happen again or will happen again. It can happen again, but it might not. And also, the conditions that these hard forks were under were, for the most part, inside of a macro bull market with not only Cardano, but other cryptocurrencies as well. However, that being said, a lot of these run-ups happened kind of separated from their main pegs to Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So I think it is interesting and it is something to note. And it's also nice to note, hey, a hard fork is coming up. That's a pretty important thing in the blockchain of Cardano. And I'll get to the, price prediction of that hard fork and when it's coming in June in a minute, but first I want to explain something here. As we can see, we have marked two hard forks. I haven't marked Shelly because it doesn't really fit my bias, and I don't want to show you that over here we had a hard fork in 2020 and not much price change because it was a bear market. But in a bull market condition, it appears that the hard forks do have a bit of the buy the rumor, sell the news event type of action here. Now, will this repeat for June? As we are almost, in the middle of May or the middle of March, we have a few months to get there, meaning that in or before June, we would hit a new all-time high if we're to go off these catalysts or were to see some major price appreciation at the least. Now, this hard fork here, the Mary hard fork, as we can see, it happened on the 1st of March, 2021. Before that, we went from around, about a month before that, we were at 49 cents. And when it hit, we were at about 2 times the price or over 2 times the price, 3 times the price. So there's a lot of price appreciation there. Yes. Is it coincidental that the bull market also kind of started heating up here? Also, yes. But also we have, another run up here, a huge run up from wherever we have here, $1 all the way up to $3.04 was all-time high. And we can see here, this is the Alonzo hard fork. Right before the Alonzo hard fork, this is when the testnet was rolling up. This is when everyone was talking about Cardano. And also back here, after March, in between these two spans, we had the all-time high of peak interest in Google search, meaning that most people, especially around this May mark right here, we're searching for Cardano. The hype was crazy. It died down a bit. Then we had that hard fork news event. Smart contracts are coming, and everyone bought the news of that. And then upon release, the price has appreciated down with the rest of the market. Now, the next hard fork is a bit different, right? If we zoom out here, I have drawn a squiggly line up to the right. Is this accurate? Is this based on any data? Absolutely not. But the hard fork for June is happening in June. It is the SIL hard fork. I've made a video on how Cardano is scaling in 2022. There's 11 ways. There's also an article written by Tim Harrison. This involves the hard fork enabling some of these features, including pipelining and other things. If you want to get technical, if you want to understand this, I'll leave a link to the video and the article down in the description. But really what we're looking at here today is the fact that the price go up before the event. Now, this would mean the price would probably be, more or less over here or hit the all-time high, before the event actually happens, the hard fork actually happens. As we can see in the past, usually the hard fork is not an indicator of direct all-time high. Whatever else indicators you want to look at, keep in mind, all this is speculation, right? But it's interesting to me, and that's why I make a video on it. It's interesting. I'm a bit bored, and there's a lot going on in the ecosystem, but knowing the major things that are going to push more and more functionality and capabilities of Cardano will probably drive price up because they're fundamental changes that drive further adoption down the line. So whether these price events happen now and go back down doesn't really matter to me. At the end of the day, I am holding Cardano for the long term, and the short term price appreciation isn't going to matter too much 5 years down the line. I mentioned this a million times before, but my plan all along has been to get 30,000 plus ADA, hold it for the long term, live off of some staking rewards, and hopefully Cardano hits $30 one day. My opinion last year, or when I first got Cardano, was Cardano could hit $30 in 5 to 10 years, and I still think that's completely possible, especially with decentralized identity systems and so much more governing Cardano outside of points of powers control. A decentralized blockchain is very important. That's what I'm here for personally, and I think that's the whole point of cryptocurrencies, from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Cardano. And Cardano is doing a lot of these things right. So fundamentally long term, I'm still super bullish on Cardano. Things sometimes can be boring day to day, especially as I make YouTube videos every day. I'm not as active as a developer or someone else in the community, but I do think we all play a role. And eventually this $5 Cardano, whenever it may be, maybe it be here or maybe it be over here, and in 2023 or 2024. Whenever it happens, I will likely still have my ADA in my wallet. And there's a good chance I'll have to sell some to cover taxes on income from staking and stuff like that. But I think the short-term prices are fun to look at, but they're nothing substantial when you take a step back and look at the fundamentals. Anyways, that's my TED Talk for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to stake your ADA to earn passive ADA on your ADA, you can do so with the Jack stake pool. I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.